Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at some very fun battles in the Ultra League featuring XL Kanto Rapidash. These battles were submitted to the channel by a member of the community, so many thanks for the battle submission. Kanto Rapidash is a pure Fire-type Pokemon with the moveset of Incinerate, Flame Charge, and Drill Run. And this trainer pairs it up with a Gyarados on the lead and a Chandelure as the closer, and goes on quite a nice run. So without further ado, let's hop into the matches and check out XL Rapidash in action in the Ultra League. Hopping into the first match, sitting Gyarados into Jellison. With two fire types in the back, definitely nice to catch the Jellison on the lead. Opponent goes for a Bubble Beam right off the bat. They do get a debuff off before Gyarados is able to reach a move, but since they didn't build up to the Shadow Ball, Gyarados has no reason to commit a shield. Gyarados fires off the Crunch, that does a solid chunk of damage. This is enough for a Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball would not KO, but it is going to get the Gyarados very low. Gyarados continuing to farm up and firing off a second Crunch. This will easily KO if they let it through. Jellison commits the shield. Jellison able to farm down before Gyarados reaches a move. In comes Chandelure. Chandelure does get the Incinerate through. Chandelure commits the shield. It's a Bubble Beam. Chandelure not able to farm down before Jellison is able to reach a second Bubble Beam. That's going to do a ton of damage. Chandelure is debuffed, but has energy. In the back is Clefable, and they have an Escavalier as well. And this is about to be a Rapidash sweep. Rapidash shields up the Drill Run, incinerates down, and leaves with 100 energy to take on the Clefable. Rapidash is going to start firing off Flame Charge after Flame Charge after Flame Charge. And there's just nothing this poor Clefable can do. Clefable commits the shield. Rapidash does not care. Able to reach a third Flame Charge. Flame Charge will be taken out the Clefable. And that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, leading Gyarados into Obstagoon. With the Ghost type in the back, it is pretty nice to catch Obstagoon on the lead, so we'll definitely want to stay in here with Gyarados to get some chip before eventually safe switching into the Rapidash. Obstagoon is able to outpace, they fire off the Night Slash, Gyarados tanks it like it's nothing. Gyarados will overfarm quite a bit and fire off the Aqua Tail before Obstagoon is able to reach their next move. Obstagoon overfarms and plays into a CMP tie on the second Aqua Tail. Aqua Tail gets a shield from Obstagoon, and at this point, Gyarados is not going to be taken out by this Night Slash, so Gyarados can definitely let that go, and then in comes a Rapidash. Rapidash farming up energy. Opponent sends in Nido Queen. Rapidash has shield advantage and an energy lead. Going for the Flame Charge. Flame Charge lands. Opponent throws a Poison Fang on alignment, giving Rapidash an entire free Incinerate. Rapidash able to reach the Drill Run. This will easily KO the Nido Queen if they let it through, and they do. Opponent brings in the Obstagoon. Rapidash is debuffed. This Night Slash is going to be enough to KO. And then in comes Chandelure, going for the farm down. Opponent throws on alignment again. You just cannot do that versus a 5-turn move, as Chandelure with extra energy is just an absolute menace. Chandelure fires off the Flame Charge. That deals a ton of damage to the Crobat. At this point, Crobat has to give up the final shield because this Flame Charge would be enough to KO. Chandelure continuing to farm up. They're going to fire off a move. Chandelure commits the shield. It is only a Poison Fang bait. Chandelure farms up, switch, and a beautiful catch onto Gyarados. Oh my goodness. Absolutely sensational play. Chandelure farms down, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, leading Gyarados into Trevenant. Has two fire types in the back, so definitely going to be safe switching out of this lead and into Rapidash. These Incinerates adding up so much on Trevenant. This is enough for a Shadow Ball. Rapidash is going to respect it with a shield, but Trevenant does bait with a Seed Bomb. That is quite unfortunate. Rapidash farms up to the back-to-back, and this is a CMP tied to the Shadow Ball. Flame Charge gets the shield. Trevenant does have enough for the Shadow Ball here. Rapidash is going to commit the final shield. Opponent is going to bring in Regirock. and Regirock is a scary Pokemon for this team to see, but Rapidash is boosted and has a ton of energy here. Fires off the back-to-back drill runs. First one deals massive damage. Second one, able to grab a shield. Rapidash continuing to farm up. Regirock is going to fire off a move to take out the Rapidash. Regirock fires off the Stone Edge. In comes Gyarados. Gyarados is tanky enough to survive one Stone Edge here. Stone Edge is going to get the Gyarados pretty low, but Gyarados will be able to survive it and should be able to outpace and fire off the Aqua Tail. Aqua Tail will be enough to take out the Regirock, and then we'll have to see what they have in the back. It's Wall Rain, and this is basically looking like it's game over. Chandelure will reach the Shadow Ball, but Walrein is going to be able to tank this and reach the Earthquake. Opponent switches out into Trevenant. Opponent throws away the Trevenant, and that may have just been a lose con. They're going to fire off the Earthquake onto Chandelure. The question is, can Gyarados reach a move here? Gyarados farming up, able to get to the Aqua Tail. This is resisted. Is it going to be enough to take out the Walrein? Yes, it is. And that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, leading Gyarados into Nidoqueen. Pretty decent lead for Gyarados. If the opponent does stay in and play out shielded scenarios, we'll probably want to save switch out of here at some point just to make sure they don't have a strong counter to fire types in the back. Nidoqueen lands the Poison Fang. They save switch into Virizion. Gyarados farms up and a beautiful catch, catching the Leaf Blade onto Rapidash. That is fantastic. Rapidash farming up. Rapidash will get outpaced here, and this is the Sacred Sword. Sacred Sword would do a solid chunk of damage. Rapidash commits the shield, throws one more Incinerate, and it's going to fire off the Flame Charge. Flame Charge takes down Virizion. In the back, the opponent has Giratina. This is a bit of an unfortunate situation, but Rapidash is boosted, and Rapidash does have Drill Run. Rapidash farming up, able to reach a second Drill Run. This is going to start to get the Giratina quite low if they let it through, which they do. Giratina able to farm down. That is unfortunate, but Gyarados is able to win CMP. That is fantastic. Aqua Tail gets the shield. Giratina is going to return fire. Giratina goes for the Ancient Power, and an aggressive switch into Nidoqueen snipes the Gyarados. That is not great. It's all up to Chandelure. This is enough for the Earth Power, but you know Giratina has a move loaded, so you kind of have to call the bait, and it's a Poison Fang. That's big. They're going to fire off another move. Chandelure does commit the shield, and unfortunately, I think that is going to be game over here, because Chandelure will be able to take down the Nidoqueen, but Giratina has the move loaded, and Chandelure is debuffed. Giratina fires off the move. Ancient Power takes out the Chandelure as he loses an incredibly close game. Hopping into the next match, leading Gyarados into Dragonite. This is a positive lead for Gyarados. Opponent is going to save switch into Escavalier, and it is Rapidash time. These Incinerates absolutely shredding Escav. Drill Run is going to require a shield from Rapidash, but Rapidash is able to Incinerate down and leave with a massive amount of energy. Opponent thinking about it, and they're going to send in the Dragonite. Dragonite is going to be resisting all of Rapidash's moves. Let's see what Rapidash can do here. Fires off the first Flame Charge, and now firing off the second. This is a boosted Flame Charge. Flame Charge starting to get Dragonite quite low. Dragonite is going to be forced to throw a charge move. Rapidash able to apply some serious damage. In comes Gyarados, able to farm down. In the back, they have Alolan Muck, and Alolan Muck is going to be met with Chandelure. Alolan Muck is able to outpace here. Chandelure commits the shield, but it's an Acid Spray. That is quite unfortunate. Chandelure will be able to reach the double Flame Charge before Muck is able to reach their next move. Chandelure able to reach the second Flame Charge, and this will be grabbing that final shield from the opponent. They shielded the first. They are committing to the Alolan Muck. Alolan Muck is going to be able to take out the Chandelure here with the Dark Pulse, and now it's all up to Gyarados. Gyarados able to apply a lot of pressure with the Dragon Breaths and going to be firing off the Aqua Tail. Aqua Tail gets the Muck quite low. Muck is able to reach a move, but Dark Pulse is not going to be enough to KO here. Opponent goes for the Acid Spray, hoping for another move. They don't get there as Gyarados clutches the win. Hopping into the next match, leading Gyarados into Alolan Muck. pretty neutral lead across the board. Immediate save switch into Rapidash. Rapidash farming up, and the opponent is going to respond with Giratina Altered. Not the greatest matchup for Rapidash, but at the very least, baiting out their Giratina. Firing off the Drill Run, that does a solid chunk of damage. Giratina is going to fire back. Giratina is running Ancient Power, that does massive super effective damage. Rapidash is going to be firing off a second Drill Run, that is going to start to get the Giratina quite low. Giratina able to farm down. Gyarados will be able to farm down the Giratina, but he's going to have to tank an Ancient Power to do so, and that's going to be doing quite a lot of damage. Gyarados able to farm down, leaves with a bit of energy. Back in comes Muck. Muck will be met with Chandelure. Tough call to make. Chandelure commits the shield. It's an Acid Spray, and in the back is Shadow Machamp. Chandelure is going to be firing off a Flame Charge. This will do a lot of damage. Flame Charge goes unshielded. Machamp is going to fire off a Cross Chop. This is double resisted, but unfortunately the Chandelure has been debuffed. Back in comes the Alolan Muck. Alolan Muck might try and commit to the farm down here. Flame Charge gets the shield. Alolan Muck able to get the farm down. They leave with quite a lot of energy. The question is, can Gyarados reach double Aqua Tail before Alolan Muck reaches double Dark Pulse? They fire off the Dark Pulse. Gyarados is very close to the back-to-back moves. Firing off the first Aqua Tail. That gets the shield. Gyarados able to reach the second Aqua Tail. This will be taking out the Muck and clutching the win. Hopping into the final match, and we've got some extreme spice from the opponent. Gyarados into Licky Licky, a very cool pick. Immediate save switch into Rapidash. Licky Licky staying in here, which hopefully means they don't have a good response to fire types in the back. Rapidash able to land the Flame Charge. That does a solid amount of damage. Licky Licky does have a ton of energy here. Rapidash is going to commit the shield. Just the Body Slam. Rapidash is going to fire off another Flame Charge. At this point, Licky Licky does have to start shielding, and they will. Licky Licky continuing to farm up. These Incinerates absolutely chunking. Rapidash letting it go. Just a Body Slam. Rapidash able to tank it, but Licky Licky able to reach a third Body Slam. Rapidash is actually going to let this go, and unfortunately, Rapidash gets taken out. In comes Gyarados. Gyarados able to Dragon Breath down. In the back, they have Trevenant, and Gyarados does have an energy lead here, which is very nice. Gyarados is going to fire off the Crunch. Crunch grabs a shield. In comes Chandelure, and Chandelure is now getting ahead on energy. Commits the shield. It's the Shadow Ball. That's a massive shield. Chandelure is going to fire off the Flame Charge, not wanting them to get any additional Shadow Claws in. In the back is Cobalion, and Cobalion is about to get absolutely flame cooked. Chandelure taking out Cobalion, and that is a good game. All in all, some absolutely incredible battles featuring not one but two Incinerate users, Chandelure and XL Rapidash. And these battles are a good reminder that even throughout the course of the season, I know a lot of people are struggling trying to hit rank. Don't forget to have a little fun on the way, because who knows, you may end up winning some games in the process. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And a special thank you as always to our members here on YouTube. The support you guys provide is sincerely appreciated. So thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.